It's no secret that I absolutely adore sim games, so I thought it would only be fair for me to share my top 3 with you. Obviously, favourite games is a spectrum and they change from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. Let me know down in the comments what your favourite sim games are. Let's get into it. Starting strong with Power Washing Sim. I have hours upon hours in this game across 3 different platforms, and it's safe to say that this game was always a top contender for being one of my favourite sim games. You wouldn't think there was much of a story, but if you play it through to the end, you'll be pleasantly surprised. And of course, no spoilers here. Even though the game is not old, but you know, I won't spoil it for anyone. It's just play it through, trust me. Originally purchased on early access in Steam, this has been a favourite ever since, and it's been great to watch the game grow. The game has a collection of DLCs to suit everyone, from Warhammer to Shrek, and I am so looking forward to the Wallace and Gromit DLC, which is coming March 4th, which makes my little British heart so happy. And I will be streaming it day of release over on my Twitch channel. There's nothing more satisfying than a good power washing sesh. A top 3 wouldn't be a top 3 without Euro Truck Sim 2. I would say this is king of the sim games. You could be king or queen of the roads and maybe live out your driving career through this sim, as we know it's not easy being a truck driver. Which comes to my next point. You do have to factor in whilst playing this game. Take your rest, fueling up, and obviously driving to your destination as safely as possible, which we all know doesn't happen most of the time. Originally released in 2012, this game still dominates and the devs are constantly updating and launching new DLCs to the game, with Greece being its latest expansion, and with plenty more in the pipeline. If it's not broke, don't fix it comes to mind. I've had hours of fun delivering all sorts of loads, travelling across the continent, and of course my fair share of crashes. It's worth to note, in-game they do events every so often, so it keeps you entertained. It's not just drive from A to B. They also have an online mode, which I'm yet to check out, but I am so excited to get and play with other players. And lastly, but definitely not least, this absolute classic, but a titan in the sim game community nonetheless. Rollercoaster Tycoon. Rollercoaster Tycoon was first released in March of 1999 by Scottish game dev Chris Sawyer. He essentially paved the way for simulation games after being inspired by Sid Meier's Railroad Tycoon, and then Chris releasing Transport Tycoon in 1994. This game is so nostalgic for me. Back in the late 90s, I used to watch my dad play for hours, and then eventually I also got into the game. Obviously, there are newer games like Planet Coaster to sink your teeth into, but I think I would always pick RCT over the latter. Not to say that I don't like Planet Coaster, you just can't beat the classics. If you got this far, thank you so much for watching, and that wraps up my top 3 sim games. Obviously, favourite games are a spectrum and they change all the time, so next week it could be something completely different for me. Remember to comment your favourite sim games down below. I would love to check out some new ones. If not, I might have already played some of your favourite sim games too, and we can start a little bit of a discussion. So I'd appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, commented, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye!